Hello students, today we are going to see theories of coordination compounds. So already we have studied Werner theory. Alfred Werner gave Werner theory. In this Werner theory we have studied some properties of coordination compounds. But basic, he explained that Lewis acid, that is central metal atom, Lewis base, ligand, they are forming bond. So according to Werner theory, the coordination compounds forming bond between Lewis acid and Lewis base. But Werner theory does not explain. It is failed to explain color of the coordination compound, or what is the reason coordination compounds are colored in nature. The second one, about their magnetic property, Werner theory does not explain about magnetic property also, which does not explain. So any theory having some limitations or defect means the following theory will recover that defects. Okay. So next to the Werner theory, we have a new theory that is called valence bond theory. So who is giving the valence bond theory? Linus Pauling. The scientist Linus Pauling giving the new theory that is called valence bond theory. So the valence bond theory you can write simply VBT. So in valence bond theory, how the bond formation takes place. So according to valence bond theory, the bond is considered as a covalent bond. It is covalent bond or sharing of bond. Next scientist Welk. The next scientist Welk gives another theory that is called CFT, crystal field theory. Crystal field theory. So this crystal field theory, simply you can write CFT. How do you write crystal field theory? CFT. In this crystal field theory, he is explaining the bond between the central atom and ligand is made up of electrostatic force. Electrostatic force. Due to electrostatic force only there exist metals and ligands. That is given by Welk in crystal field theory. Okay. Any other theory we have? Yes. Followed by we have ligand field theory, molecular orbital theory. All are explaining properties of coordination compounds. So first we are going to see valence bond theory. Werner theory already we have completed. So now we are going to see valence bond theory, VPT. So first, what is VPT? Already we told covalent bond formation. Covalent nature. The bond is considered as a covalent bond. What do you mean covalent bond? Mutual sharing, sharing of electron. So the metal ligand, this metal ligand bond considered as a covalent nature. Okay, covalent bond. Okay, what is the conditions he is applying? Metal should have hybridized vacant orbital. So how they are forming the bond? By overlapping of hybrid vacant orbitals. Then ligand having filled orbital which containing at least one lone pair electron. So how in VPT theory bond formation between metal and ligand is explained under the sharing of electron which forming bond. How they are sharing? Which are the conditions we have to apply? Listen, the metal should be hybrid vacant orbitals. So actually they are undergoing overlap. So overlap means mixing. Who are all undergoing mixing? Listen, hybrid vacant orbital of metal atom and filled orbital with lone pair electrons undergoing mixing, they are forming bond. So here who is giving the electron? The filled orbital containing lone pair electron is shared towards metal atom. So metal already vacant. Ligand which having excess of electron, that is only written lone pair electron. So that lone pair electrons are donated to metal, vacant metal orbitals. Due to the sharing of electron, they are forming bond. That bond only called covalent coordinate bond or coordinate covalent bond formation. Let us see assumptions, the main assumptions of valence bond theory. There are many points. First point, so we have to say what is the nature of bond. They are considered as a covalent bond. What type of bond is present? Covalent bond. Okay, how that covalent bond is formed? Metal with ligand forming covalent bond. How? By overlap. Here is forming sharing of electrons. So who is providing the electron? Ligands providing the electron to metal atom. By sharing this electron, they are forming covalent bond. That is only first point. The second point, each ligand. So first point, metal ligand formed covalent bond by sharing electron. Okay. Now one by one we are going to apply the conditions. First, if the ligand want to share the electron, means that ligand should carry at least one filled orbital. It should have an electron, then only it can share with the other metals. So the ligand should have at least one filled orbital. That filled orbital should contain lone pair electron. So ligand should contain at least one filled orbital containing lone pair electron. Then only it can share the electrons. So here this point for ligand. Third point for metal. Who is accepting the electrons from ligand? Metal atom. So metal accommodate electron means it should have the space to keep the shared electron with making the space. So to accommodate the electrons, metal provides the vacant orbital. So metal provide hybrid vacant orbitals. So metal going to accept electron from the ligand. So ligand giving the electron. So metal accepting the electron. That accepted electron should keep with certain orbitals. For that, metal providing hybrid vacant orbitals to keep the electron gain from the ligands. So revise 3 points. Covalent bond, first in the crystal field theory, valence bond theory, the bond between metal and ligand considered as a covalent in nature. How that covalent bond is formed? By sharing of electron between metal and ligand. Who is providing the electron? Ligand is providing the electron. Okay. So just outlook we have given, which form the covalent bond. If that covalent bond want to form, the ligand metal should have certain conditions. First, for ligand should have at least one filled orbital containing lone pair electrons. Because electrons, who will donate the electrons? Ligand will donate the electron. So due to donating of electron, this ligand should have at least filled orbital. How many electrons it should have? At least a pair of electron. That is only called which containing lone pair electron. Then what is the condition for metal orbital? So metal having the tendency to accept electron. So for accepting electron, to accommodate the accepted electron, it provide hybrid vacant orbitals. Right? How that metal bringing this hybrid vacant orbitals? By hybridization. So the fourth point, the metals producing hybrid metal orbitals, vacant orbital by hybridization. What do you mean hybridization? Intermixing of atomic orbitals. So already the metal will have some orbitals, that orbital will mix together. That is only called intermixing of atomic orbitals. After mixing, it will give equal number of new orbitals. That new orbitals only called hybridized orbital. Metal having vacant orbital, So for preparing that bond formation, it should undergo hybridization. Then what is hybridization? Intermixing of atomic orbitals. So the metal having the orbitals, that atomic orbitals are mixing themselves. What type of orbital will undergo? Equal energy level orbital will undergoing mixing. After mixing, it will give equal number of new orbital with same energy level. So in the beginning, before forming the hybridization, what energy level it is maintaining, that same energy level we can see in the hybridized orbitals. So the atomic orbital intermixing themselves and produce equal number of new orbital. That new orbitals only called hybridized orbital. So that the hybridized orbital only undergoing mixing with the filled ligand orbitals of ligands. So the fifth one, what's the fifth one? Now metal is ready with the hybrid orbital. Ligand is ready with filled orbital. They are undergoing overlap. How they are overlapping? Linear overlap. So in the linear overlap, what happens? They are mixing together, they are producing new bond that is called coordinate covalent bond. Coordinate covalent sigma bond. So metal having the hybrid orbitals, ligand having filled orbitals, they are overlap linearly. After the linear overlap, they are producing coordinate covalent sigma bond. You know that we can refer certain bonds with sigma. So they are producing coordinate covalent sigma bonds. So this is only called a covalent bond. So we have two type of covalent bond, mutual sharing or coordinate covalent bond. So here we are getting in metal ligand bond coordinate covalent sigma bond. So we completed how they are forming the bond between metal and ligands. First point, metal and ligand forming covalent bond by sharing electron. Who is providing electrons? Ligand. So that bond want to form means ligand should follow certain condition. What is the condition? The ligand should have at least one filled orbital which containing lone pair electron. It should have one pair of electron. Then metal should be accommodate the electron from the ligand. For accommodating electron, metal should create or provide vacant hybrid orbitals. How they are producing the vacant hybrid orbital? By hybridization. What is hybridization? Intermixing of atomic orbitals giving equal number of new orbitals with the same energy. That new orbitals only called hybridized orbital. That hybridized orbital in metal and filled orbital in ligand undergoing overlap in linear overlap, which producing coordinate covalent sigma bond. Right. Now the character of metals vacant hybridized orbital. So next one, we have seen that hybridized orbitals. The hybridized orbital directional in nature. What do you mean directional in nature? It will be present in particular direction. Then that hybrid orbital also oriented orientation in space. Orientation in space means particular arrangement it will form. From that we can understand the geometry of coordination compound. So one by one, hybrid orbital, directional nature. Due to directional nature which has particular orientation, that means arrangement. So due to that arrangement we can understand the geometry of that coordination compounds. Okay, let us see some example by using that coordination number, hybridization, what is the geometry. Example for that we will see now. So first, if the coordination number is 2, what will be the hybridization? So coordination number, we can write 2. Here hybridization. Then geometry. The last one, example. Right. If the coordination number is 2 means what are the possible hybridization? Only one type of hybridization, that is sp. If the hybridization is sp means what will be the structure? Linear. Let us see one example for this structure. Silver with -1. Let us take coordination number 3. Coordination number 3 means what will be the hybridization? sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridization means trigonal planar. The geometry trigonal planar. So trigonal planar, we can take example HI3 minus. Then coordination number we can take 4. sp3 hybridization. sp3 means tetrahedral. What is the geometry? Tetrahedral. So for tetrahedral, what is the example? Nickel carbonyl compound. The next one, hybridization. So coordination number 4 means the hybridization becoming dsp2. See, both are coordination number 4. First one, coordination number 4 means sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral structure. The second one, same coordination number, but here the hybridization dsp2. dsp2 hybridization form means it will form square planar structure. What is the structure? Square planar. For square planar, we can have the example nickel hexacyanide 4 minus. Let us go with coordination number 5. If the coordination number is 5 means what is the hybridization? dsp3. What is the geometry for dsp3? Trigonal bipyramidal. So coordination number 5, hybridization dsp3 trigonal bipyramidal. This is also well known. Fe with CO 5 times. That is also neutral complex. Then coordination number 6. Coordination number 6 means you will have hybridization D2sp3. D2sp3 sp3 means what is the geometry? Octahedral. Octahedral complex, we can take example N9, we can take FeCN6, 4 minus. So here we have to take nickel Cn6, 2 minus, 4, 2 minus. The last one FeCN6, 4 minus. Then if the coordination number 6, if you take, what will be the hybridization? sp3d2. Same geometry, octahedral. What is the example for sp3d2? Here you take strong ligand. If you take weak ligand, you will get so all possible hybridization for each coordination number, we have seen geometry, each one example. So in our book they are given some more examples also, we can go through. Then we completed only first 6 points in valence bond theory. The 7th one depends upon the inner cell and outer cell participation. We have to explain. So listen. The d orbital sp3, sp, sp2, sp3, no change. When the d orbital coming for hybridization, we have to listen the d orbital whether comes from outer valence orbital or inner orbital. In case the d orbital hybridized from n-1 d orbital. n-1 means inner. So inner d orbital undergoing hybridization means we can say that is inner orbital complexes. This is also called low spin orbitals. Low spin complexes. Then this is also called spin paired complexes. So the d orbital which undergoing the hybridization in n-1 d orbital means which is called the inner orbital complex, low spin or low spin complex or spin paired complex. Nd orbital undergoing the hybridization for this bonding means that is called outer orbital complex. High spin complex or spin unpaired, we can say spin free complex. So depending upon the d orbital we can name differently, right? Then what about the 8th point which explains magnetic character of the complex compound? So what is the magnetic character? The metal orbitals with any one unpaired electron. Unpaired means becoming single. So unpaired electron crystal means we can say that is paramagnetic character. What is the magnetic character? The metal orbital having unpaired electron means we can say paramagnetic character. All are paired means all electrons are paired electron means we can say diamagnetic character. So metal orbital electrons, any one, even unpaired means we can say paramagnetic character, but all electrons are paired means we can say diamagnetic character. The 9th point, certain ligands like CO, EN, water, ammonia. All these ligands are having a tendency to pair unpaired electron in metal atom. So metal atom having some unpaired electron. That unpaired electron they may pair in the unpaired electron. So because of this pairing unpaired electron, these ligands are called strong filled ligands. Last point, based on the overlap, if the overlap greater, so we know that metal orbitals and ligand orbital undergoing overlap linearly, forming coordinate covalent sigma bond. Yes, that overlap is greater means the strength, bond strength also greater. It will have greater bond strength. We can say if the overlap less means the bond strength also less. So based on overlap we can say the strength of the bond. So all 9-10 points we have explaining. Remaining we will see in the next video. Thank you.